It's already December and the new year is already right around the corner. There's so many exciting things on the docket for 2026, including Hockey Day Minnesota. But before we get to 2026, we wanted to host a special edition of Raider Recap to highlight some individual and team successes from the 2025 athletic season. To kick things off, we sat down with Nolan St. Sauver, a Hastings High School student and a Dakota United Hawks player who's won back-to-back adapted state titles in both softball and soccer.
Hello, I'm Nolan St. Sauver. I am a sophomore and I participate in the Dakota United Hawks, and I play adaptive soccer and I play hockey, softball, and I won the soccer championship and the softball championship. I was the tournament MVP in adaptive soccer. We were 6-2, actually 7-2-2, because we played an extra game to make it to the state tournament. I'm just really happy we made it to the state tournament. So my soccer was at White Bear Lake High School, and my hockey was at Coon Rapids, and my softball was at Chanhassen. We did not win the floor hockey championship because we didn't play very good. We won the softball championship, and we won soccer 5-1 against South Washington. They were on a dominant team. Our team's really good. And Jacob, the goalie, he was insane. He was a really good goalie. He kept saving all of them. And wow, he's just really good. All my cousins, aunts, mom, dad were all at the state tournament with me, and they were cheering me on, and my aunt made a poster of me that it says, "Watch out for number 9 to score." I scored 13 goals in the state tournament. I scored 2 in the first game, 6 in the second, and 5 in the championship game. And Josh assisted me a couple of times, and I'm just really happy for the championship. I just got this gold medal. It's really awesome.
What was the feeling once you guys actually won the state tournament? Once the clock hit 0, what was kind of your gut reaction once?
I just dropped to my knees and put my arms in the air. I'm like, oh my gosh, we did it. Back-to-back state champions, and we just dominated the state tournament in the season. I just like to play with other players, with my teammates, and we shake hands at the end if we win or lose or tie. Then yeah, it's just really amazing. This is just really amazing. My parents are just really happy for me playing all the sports until I graduate from high school. I just love it. I'm gonna keep playing until I'm a senior, and then until I graduate from high school, and then I'm gonna dominate all the sports. I'm gonna make it to the state tournament for all the sports.
So congrats to Nolan and the Dakota United Hawks on another state title. Coming up next, we interview Chloe Arness of the Hastings Swim and Dive team. She'll talk a little bit about her team season, but then she dives into her journey and path to becoming a Minnesota State diving champion.
Well, the team did really good this year. We got second in our conference. Lots of great meets. I broke a few records this year, some at other pools and a few at our school and our pool records. So I have the pool record at Simley, South St. Paul. It was at Simley when I broke their pool record that I think it was hadn't been broken in 25 years, and that was the highest I'd ever scored on a 6-dive list. That was pretty fun. Me and 2 other divers have the conference record. Me, Kira Fickman, and Mari Hall have the conference record. For our school, I have the 6-dive pool record, the 6-dive school record, and the 11-dive school record. Sections was a little bit different this year because they weren't making any cuts, because our section was a lot smaller this year than Class AA. I went into it kind of knowing where I was gonna rank and where I was gonna play, so it wasn't something I had to be super stressed about. But it was really exciting to see my teammates make it in the top 8, because all of the divers from Hastings made it in the top 8, and I think that was really, really cool. This was my third year competing at state. I kind of knew I had like a good chance of winning state because we had just moved down to Class A from Class AA, so I knew I kind of wanted to try and win the state meet. I woke up pretty early because it's in the morning. We drive to the U of M and we start warming up, and on Saturday for warm-ups I wasn't doing very good in warm-ups, so I was a little bit stressed about that. Stressful, I would say, just because it's like this is like your last chance to like do really good, and like you only really get like one shot at like each dive that you're gonna perform. There was a second warm-ups right before diving started while the swimmers were competing, and I had a much better warm-up that time. For an 11 dive list, typically you want to try to put like your most like consistent 5 dives first, and then your next 3 are just kind of whatever, because they make cuts at the state meet after 5, then after 3, and then if you make the last cut, then you go to finals. Typically you want to put your best 3 dives last, I would say, or like your hardest dives, because those are going to score the most points. So that's kind of how I decide which ones I'm going to end up doing. My mom is my coach, and it's just a lot more fun to have like someone that, like a coach that you're very comfortable with coaching you. I think it's a lot more fun. Sometimes it's a little challenging because it's hard to kind of like keep like your home life separate from like your sports or like school. We started competing. After my second dive, I did really good on my second dive, and then it kind of like bumped me up 20 points, which is like a super good lead. So then going into my 11th dive, I kind of knew where I was gonna place. It was very exciting. I couldn't stop smiling. I was super excited because I worked so hard all season. I had an undefeated season, so I was really hoping to just continue that at state. I had a lot of people coming to watch me on Saturday for finals. I did get to talk to them after. It was both my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, and then a few friends from school. So it was just really fun, and it meant a lot to me that they came to support me. I think about like back to like the state meet like a lot, like just like what it kind of felt like. It's just like exciting feeling. Like it's very hard to like describe, but it's definitely very exciting.
What's kind of the next steps now that the season's done? Or what are you up to after, now that fall season's done?
I'm taking a little bit of a break just for December, and then starting January I'm doing club again, and then I'll do that until next year.
So congratulations to Chloe and the Hastings Swim and Dive team on all their successes this season. To conclude this Raider recap, we sat down with coaches and players of the 2025 track team. They talk about their season all the way from Hastings to sections to state and all the way to the national stage in Eugene, Oregon.
I mean, the season was great. I mean, I feel like it's such a blessing that we progressed how we did. I mean, I feel like each of us, like, we started out at a point and we all progressed.
Yeah, I think a lot of, like, most of the season we were kind of just thinking, all right, like, focus on one meet at a time and the next meet will come.
I don't like to have an expectation or like an entitlement that I think I'll perform well. I just kind of do the best I can and see what happens. But if I'm going to be honest, optimistically, I thought we had a chance to be successful as a team.
So we started a little earlier this year, and I feel like this year a lot of the team was more like locked in the whole time. Like a lot of us were training in the winter too. Like last year, none of us really did that.
Because after last year, we knew that we would be pretty good. We had thought we would at least. And so we just like thought about that and kept training hard in practice.
We were just ready to go at the start, and last year we were kind of just slacking at the beginning of practice and everything. But this year we were just ready to go every day.
As I was showing up these practices, like people were on time doing the entire warm-up, which is a lot, doing all the workouts just as hard as they could. Everybody, like Seabass, I think Seabass was the biggest kind of catalyst for that. He was just always honest about eating healthy, even in our faith, like trusting God, and then just working as hard as possible.
So from a coach's perspective, you go into a season and you're kind of trying to put together the pieces, and you think about like, what are we going to be able to do? Who's going to do these events? Who's going to be able to be part of our relays and things like that? And you don't know how it's all going to kind of fit together at the end of the season. There's kids who sometimes get injured, or there's kids who you find out are better at a different event than you thought maybe they were going to be.
Last year I didn't run at all. I was hurt the whole year. Pulled my hamstring, I think 3 different times, didn't get to run. And coming into this year, I honestly just wanted to finish a race. That was honestly my goal. And so I came out before the season. Cook was talking about how me and Johnny would maybe be 400 runners, and I had never really done that before, but he told us about it and said maybe we could get really far in that. So me and Johnny tried it out. First few meets, we slowly started to see our times drop 53, 52 and a half, 52, 51, slowly. And then so that really developed me really from a 200, 100 sprinter to more of a 400 runner.
I remember sitting up, it was at Two Rivers. It was right in the middle of the season. It was cold, and our 4x2 ran their first time, and that was when we had Jack on the 4x2, and we went 127.8, and we were like, that's really fast for this time of year. 127.8, we set the school record, and our training program is developed to make our times the fastest at the end of the year when it's warm out and it's nice. Seeing those times at that early in the year, we kind of had maybe more expectations going into other meets. We're pretty dang good.
We had just won our conference meet as a team. I think that was one of the things we kind of not necessarily expected, but knew we had a good chance at doing, was winning the conference meet, and that was the main thing that we kind of knew we could do.
But then when you talk about accomplishment type things for our team and for our individuals, there were so many awesome performances this year. We are doing our record board. 15, between the boys and the girls, 15 new school records this year. We ended up winning several events at the Hamlin Elite Meet. We won our conference meet, both boys and girls.
Sections is kind of like a normal meet, but a lot more competitive and more fun, because if you make it past sections, you go to state.
Well, sections is just, it's the time where the anxiety really starts kicking in, because if you don't perform, you're out for the season, and in the specific event you don't perform in, so you just know the stakes are high every time you step on the track.
Section tournament, there was some good competition there. It was definitely fun. I feel like that's where I personally performed my best. And we did really good on the relays too. Our 4x4, we set our record there, running 3:17.
Sections, we ended up taking second. I don't think as a team we tried to win that meet. We just tried to send as many guys to state as possible. And I think that was just the mentality of sections, is just get guys to state.
Just that day of the state final, it just felt like we were going to war with our team, because it was just pouring down. We were all in our rain gear. We were all suited up with our hats and gloves, and we just knew it was time to try to achieve what we'd worked for.
So I was at St. Michael Albertville High School. It was a pretty far bus ride there, so I just took a nap on the bus. That's what I'd like to do, stay relaxed before our events and stuff. Once we got to the meet, it was downpouring, and it was kind of hard to figure out what we were gonna do.
Our tent, we set up next to another team, and they would push the water off the top of their tent, and it would splash into ours. And it was pretty funny looking back at it, but back then it was just
Yeah, for state, I don't really get very nervous for other track meets, but definitely for state, I was very nervous before all my races. Yeah, everyone is. It's just it's a whole different type of thing. There's so many more people, and then you got the big cameras on you, so you can't mess up, otherwise everyone's gonna see it. So you gotta be perfect.
Tensions were a little high within the team. I think a few of us kind of snapped at each other because we were all pretty on edge because of the weather.
For the 400, I remember in my blocks, they would fire the gun, and then you're up out of your blocks, and it's just a rush of wind, and you can't hear anything, and the rain is just coming into your eyes. You're blinking, and it just feels like you get hit with the train, kind of. The wind is such a big equalizer in track that it was a hard thing to face. And especially on like the state final, it just throwing that extra variable in there.
The second day of state, when we watched, I think it was the 400 that was first, when we watched Seabass cross that line in first and Gunnar take sixth, we knew that we had a good chance because those two scoring points was like a big part of like the rest of our meet. Watching them score those points, we're like, okay, we can do this and we need to come together and finish this meet.
We knew where things needed to end up in certain races throughout the day, just how track works in terms of the points scoring for each of the different events and who we had in what events and other teams had in their events. So when Mounds View had a miler that was coming into the state meet, he was like 7th. That's 3 points. He ended up winning the mile and getting 12 points. So that was like a 9-point difference from what we had kind of like looked at on paper. So we were like, ooh, that's gonna be tough to overcome.
Our 4x2 came out. They set a great tone to like the meet where like we blew everyone out.
The kids competed like perfectly throughout the day. I mean, we won 4 different events and then ended up getting 6th in the 400 as well. So, I mean, they did everything that they could take care of. So we got down to the 4x4. We were down to Mounds View, and we knew that we needed to win and they could get 5th to tie. And if they got anything lower than 5th, we were going to be able to take home the championship.
It was the last event, and we didn't really know if we were going to win as a team. We just knew that we needed to win if we had a chance at winning as a team. And I was the first leg, so I didn't want to false start. I didn't want to do anything wrong. So I was maybe more nervous than I've ever been in any sport I've ever played.
I saw we got out pretty fast. It was still like downpouring though at the time, so I was huddled under a little umbrella. Every time they handed off the baton, I knew each guy could do their part.
We were sitting up in the stands. I'm usually awesome at taking splits for the kids and being able to tell them like what they ran for a specific split in their relay. And I missed the exchange because I'm looking at like us, but I'm also looking like where's Mounds View and where are they in the competition, and they were back a ways, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is like, we got a chance for this to happen. And when we crossed the finish line first and we look back and Mounds View ends up getting 8th, like we knew as coaches and the kids sitting in the stands with us, like we just won the state championship. We looked down on the field, and the guys that had just run the 4x4, they were just there to compete in the 4x4, and they knew they had a chance, but they didn't even realize that we had won the state meet.
And then we turn, look at the board, and it says us at the top. And we just went crazy, and we look over and see our team walking out, and went up, hugged our coaches, hugged each other, and it was just a surreal moment.
So I looked in the stands and I saw Cook with tears in his eyes, and that's when I knew like we did it. That's what it was, and that was just like pure bliss.
It was a time where I just felt so blessed to be a part of this team, and like especially to have it with my best friends, it just made it more important and more meaningful.
The bus ride home was pretty nice. It was like, it's just really, man.
I was really excited. And I looked up and I saw Cook jump up and down. I've never seen him show that much emotion before. And he hugged our other coach, Eliason, and it was just like a really special thing to see. Like, I knew what it meant to him, what it meant to everyone else, and I was just really proud of everyone.
It was just surreal. It was like a blur. Like, I don't even remember like half the things that happened. I just remember celebrating with all of our families, hoisting that trophy on the podium, and just taking pictures with everyone and everyone that wanted pictures with the plaque.
I've been aware of Nike Outdoor Nationals and New Balance Outdoor Nationals for a few years, but we just hadn't had performances that were going to be able to get us there. So after the Hamlin Elite Meet, we kind of went and looked at the standards that were there and realized that we had, a good handful of kids and relays that had met that standard and we could register it. So I sent an email to the parents of the kids that were kind of involved, and I just said, here's an opportunity. I am not like forcing it. I'm not trying to like press it or push it or anything, but the kids have the ability and have the chance to go out there. So why don't you guys talk about it amongst yourselves, and I will take care of all of the registering and stuff like that. You just got to let me know if it's something you guys want to do. So then the parents talked about it. They got back to me and said, yeah, we're all in. So then I just, like, on athletic.net, I just registered us as a team for the Nike Outdoor Nationals. End of May, early June, they send an email and say, here are the different events that you've been accepted to. No, I did not get to travel to Oregon. So my family, my wife had put together a family trip to go down to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. Thankfully, Nike Outdoor Nationals on athletic.net on their website, they had a live stream of the entire thing. So I knew when our kids were competing, I would send them like messages and just like good luck and things like that. And then when they're competing, I got to watch everything. So I'll tell you this right now, if we're going next year, I'll be there. So
I think going from state to nationals, I think our thought process, like especially in practice, was just to keep everyone fresh and loose. And then as they kind of get going to nationals, not being there as a coach is kind of hard because you don't know kind of their mentality of like what they're doing. And I know the national meet is still like they're focused in, but it's also in another state. They're staying in hotels. They're kind of doing their own thing. So we don't know, are the athletes like, are they staying up late? Are they, what are they eating? And so I think their mindset though, obviously it was really locked in.
Whenever you're flying on a plane to get to a sporting event, it definitely adds to the pressure of wanting to perform because, there's resources that go into getting you there.
It was crazy going into that Hayward Field. I mean, it's where all the best athletes compete. Crazy to think about like all the like athletes and like people that have gone there, ran there, and I get the chance to go there and run there too.
Surprisingly, as intense as you think a national meet would be, we're still just like kids, just 18-year-olds and just having fun. And we're all just super excited to be there. Every single team, even teams that have been there before in the past, they're just like, everybody's excited to run at Eugene, Oregon. It's just an experience.
So there was 4 days of competition, but I was only there for the last 3. I ran the second day and the third day. There was like a bunch of different events, and pretty much everyone had an event each day. So it was really cool to like go watch, even if we weren't running, like go watch our teammates and see what they can do.
I mean, we were all apprehensive, so like just keeping our bond strong and building each other up was, I guess, something we had to overcome. But I would also say that they take you down into this room like under the bleachers, and you're just sat there for like an hour, especially if the event is delayed. So just that anticipation when you think you're running in 10 minutes, but you end up running in like 45 minutes, it builds mental fortitude for sure.
Going into there, like before we got like close to the race, we didn't really have any expectations. We thought we would get like blown out by some crazy team in Texas.
Yeah, so 4x4, we finished 8th. A team in front of us actually got DQ'd, and we got bumped up just from 9th to 8th to get on that podium and get All-American. And all of a sudden we move up, and it's like, oh my God, like we're All-American. Seabass being All-American for the 4th time in the meet, Gunner being 3rd, and me and Jack just our first time, and it was insane.
And we found out that our 4x2 was number 1 there, and it was just like, now it's even more pressure on us, like we gotta perform and we could possibly win.
Before the race, we were just saying we gotta do our best and leave it all out in the track.
So I started the race, got out pretty fast. We were in like 2nd the whole time pretty much, and then Seabass and Lane really caught us up.
When I saw him coming around that corner, right neck and neck with that guy, I was like, I can't lose this for our team, we gotta do this. So I pulled away from the guy, we won, and then after we were just in total shock that we had just won nationals, because we just thought we were gonna go there and just run. We didn't think we were gonna win.
I think that we knew we had a shot, but just to see that come to fruition just felt so great. I don't think I realized the weight of what it meant to win a race nationally until like after we were getting interviewed by like big names, and we got to give a talk again in front of the crowd.
I just got to say all glory to Jesus Christ. We prayed before this, and we asked that he would provide us with what we need to do well, and that's what he did. It's just a blessing.
I think it was just so meaningful to see us come from a small town and win on a big stage. And again, all I can say is it's a blessing.
Congratulations to the boys track team, not only on their state title, but their national championship run out in Eugene, Oregon. Thank you once again for supporting HCTV Sports in this edition of Raider Recap. We are so excited to have been able to tell the stories of these individuals and their successes, and we look forward to 2026 and beyond.